Welcome back. We have been discussing the Reserve Bank's latest circular on entering into compromise settlements with defaulters. I've been speaking with Mr. S.S. Mundra, former Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank and a former Chairman of Bank of Baroda, and Mr. Rajnish Kumar, former Chairman at SBI. Just before going to break, we discussed in detail what was really contentious, that willful defaulters and fraudsters could also be entertained for compromise settlements. But that circular is much more than willful defaulters. Willful defaulters occupies just one line. The rest of the circular is about compromise settlements with people who have turned NPA. So, Mr. Rajnish Kumar, on that, bankers must be entering into compromise settlements, isn't it? How are these new rules making it different?
That's what I'm saying, that the framework which RBI has recently issued, what I felt after reading it, that most of the things were already there. And even in terms of the processes, in terms of the decision making, where for willful defaulters, it has been said that only board can take decisions. So this is, I don't find anything new.
What about you, Mr. Mundra? Do you think they have put in new rules in terms of, the man who gave the loan should not be part of the compromise committee and all approvals should be by a higher authority? Are they streamlining it across banks?
Lata, actually these are all very basic cardinal principles in banking, this conflict of interest, whether rules were there or not. Of course, these rules were always there, but this is already it is inbuilt into any bank's processes, that the person who has sanctioned will not be the same person who is doing it, and the one level above. Even for the smaller loan, even at branch level and regional office level, also this kind of gradation is there. So I agree with Rajnish. It's not something which is new. Only thing I think, as I mentioned in my opening comments also, in terms of deciding the nitty-gritties and all that, probably a lot is left to the bank's management and the board. But RBI has set certain basic principles, certain floors, like, floor of 12 months is mentioned in RBI, or these levels of authority is mentioned. But Lata, I want to take just 1 minute on this just to slightly amend your statement that the provisions of settlement with willful borrowers are always there. No, in this 14-15 circular, there was no specific mention about the settlements or compromise. But what I mean to say, words were not there, but spirit was very much there, because it was provided in that circular that to a willful borrower, even after 5 years, you can give loan for setting up a new project. So I just wanted to bring that clarity.
Got that. To come back to the current circular, Mr. Kumar, what is the addition it is making? Is it the feeling I got is perhaps banks were each treating compromises differently, and Reserve Bank is putting ground rules? Is that the purpose of this circular?
I think that is what is more, which I feel that the banks may have followed different systems. So SBI system may be different than what Bank of Baroda is doing or a private bank is doing. So basically, some ground rules have been set by for the banks, and whatever policies or processes now banks adopt, there are certain ground rules and directions from Reserve Bank of India, which they have to keep in mind if not already there. And if already there, then you have to do nothing else.
But Mr. Kumar, is it also possible that this order has come because IBC is taking its own time, and if some such a circular is there, bankers may be emboldened to, encourage compromise settlements? Could that be the purpose of this circular?
No, I think, Lata, I also said earlier, and I'm again reiterating, when banks take such decisions, all the options on the table, whether it is IBC, whether action under SARFAESI, whether compromise, whether sale of asset to third party, all are evaluated. And then banks decide that in the given circumstances and the given case, what option is the best option to pursue. But it is a fact that the compromise or settlement, it is a faster process. But then the issue comes around price discovery. There are again methods defined that you do two valuations, independent valuations, and price discovery becomes an issue But again, I'm aware that even if you want to enter into a compromise, that proposal itself from the existing borrower may be put through a Swiss challenge method
Okay.
to ensure that price is discovered in a transparent manner.
Okay.
But the desire of any bank would be that to recover maximum money in minimum.
Okay. I get a point. Very quickly, Mr. Mundra, on just to complete this argument, do you think compromise settlements therefore will be more resorted to in MSMEs and SMEs where only one bank is involved, where multiple banks are not involved? Is that more likely?
That is already happening. But I think it will be more meaningful if it can be deployed in the larger cases, because smaller cases, in any case it is happening, and this whole willful defaulter, there is already a threshold of about 25 lakhs, which where all these things become applicable. So I think that would be my take.
Okay.
But
I have a more important question for you after this. Please go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that to my mind, this circular, as most of the things are reiterated, some of the basic framework is given. Only new element is a very clear, sentence about the willful defaulter and fraud. To my mind, that is a new element which has been introduced in a very specific manner with board level.
Okay.
To my mind, I think there had been a lot of confusion around this whole willful defaulter thing. As I mentioned in the beginning also, it goes back to 10 years. It all started with one of the CBC directive that all the cases above 25 lakhs should be examined from the viewpoint of being willful defaulters.
Yes.
Then RBI came with the framework.
Yeah.
That framework is I think, RBI, probably there is an internal feeling or realization in RBI that there has been a lot of confusion around this.
Okay.
Because in the original circular, apart from various category, RBI was very emphatic to say that it should be done very objectively, not on isolated cases. But due to the circumstances of cases, I don't think that anyone has really bothered about looking at it, because the easier option is to go on the, err on the side of caution.
Okay. Yeah. So, that is the point. So people will not misuse it because you don't want to take a risk. Bankers are unlikely to. In the media, there is a lot of noise about the word willful defaulter and them being permitted both for compromise and for another loan. That has raised a lot of heckles. As you point out, why would any banker want to get into this mess? Now, what I wanted to ask you is, as a final question, do you think something is needed from the Reserve Bank to set the matter right? Because it's ruffled so many feathers.
Yeah, I would agree. As I myself mentioned in an earlier part of discussion that just introducing one cryptic sentence, withdrawing 3 circulars which are really not the original circular around willful defaulter framework, leaves more questions rather than providing the answer. So I think it will be good to provide some of these clarifications, or maybe put some FAQs, so that there are no confusions around it.
Okay.
Regardless of the fact that with all that confusion, how many people would try to use this provision, that is altogether different question.
Okay.
But once you put an enabling thing, it should be absolutely clear to the constituency for whom it is being given.
Okay. Got that out of time. Thank you very much, Mr. Mundra and Mr. Rajnish Kumar. I just wanted to add that I had spoken to someone who was in RBI at the time of the drafting of the previous circular in 2014-15. And the person said the only different thing at this juncture is that now you have to get it approved by the board on a case-by-case basis if it is a willful defaulter. So it is actually becoming tighter. That was the provision they made. But as Mr. Mundra says, probably some clarification Reserve Bank will help. The ultimate point I'm taking away from both these veteran bankers is that just because the word willful defaulter has come in this circular on compromise settlements, don't expect bankers to go down that route. They will be even more cautious. And as Mr. Mundra said, even if there is one NPA in a whole group, bankers are wary of giving that person a second loan. So one shouldn't run away that something negative is about to happen in the banking sector. On that note, I wrap up this edition of It's the Economy. Thank you very much for watching.